supports and what I found out in like just these games, supports, if you're like, especially that meme when it comes to never skipping a Hoyo support, if you pull for supports, your account is just always gonna like benefit rather than like all in like DPS. Because like what I can say from like pulling these supports, like Genshin for example, there's a chick named Escoffier. She's she's cryo, and she shreds the resistances of hydro and cryo. She cryo was falling off, or cryo was pretty much kind of like dead. You couldn't really, it wasn't really clearing like that. And the release of Escoffier, she brought cryo back up and along with some new hydro teams, and like she does sub DPS, she heals, and like yeah, she heals and then does a ridiculous amount of sub DPS and then buffs cryo and hydro, and you just make a full cryo team and just throw Furion in there. You're just literally obliterating everything. Like cryo is one of the strongest teams in the game now. After that, and the same thing for what's her name, Llama, who is a Dendro support. It's kind of funny though. She's basically Nahida C2, but Llama, Bloom teams heavily fell off. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. Bloom teams heavily fell off. I don't think could really clear anything like that. I pulled Llama, and then Bloom teams are immediately broken again. And it's just like I'm just starting to see a pattern here. Same thing in Star Rail with them buffing Kafka. They did buff Kafka, and that did help out a lot, making Dot really strong with her. And obviously I pulled the Dot support, which was Hysolins, and then she just made Dot teams like I said, same pattern. They were falling off like heavily. I don't think they could clear anymore. Kafka got buffed, made it a little bit stronger, and then the support for Dot came out, and then like Dot is just one of the top teams. And it's just like all these Hoyo supports, like even what's her name, Astra Yao, buffing every character. One of the best supports. Then now you got Yuzua buffing Anomaly team, bringing it back even after they're being nerfed. Like, I mean, it's still kind of funny. Like they nerfed Anomaly, even though they nerfed Anomaly as they were adding an Anomaly support, which is still funny to me. But she revitalized Anomaly some more, made it a lot stronger and stuff. And then now you got like Lucia buffing this shit out of Rupture. So you're just like seeing the pattern here with all these Hoyo supports. And just supports in these games, like how they really benefit your account. Like how I was just talking about in Star Rail, like Super Break team was falling off. Pull for the new Super Break chick named Dahlia. And then now, she just made Super Break team up there again. It's just like same thing for Castris and Hyacinth. I didn't have Hyacinth. I skipped her first rerun. Castris was complete doo-doo dog shit. And then soon as I pulled Hyacinth, she made me able to clear literally everything with Castris. And Castris just seems infinitely more busted with just that one support added. It's just it's crazy. Like I'm really starting to see a pattern here. Also, what's up, Yum Shadow? But yeah, that goes to say, like, I don't know. Never skip a support, never skip a Hoyo support. Like, cause you could just see the patterns and how they literally just benefit your account, benefit your older characters, and that's what I've been pulling for characters that like boost up like older characters. I can even say Vivian's maybe something like that. That was one reason I thought of pulling her for like Jane and like Anomaly teams, because she was technically a buff to Jane, and Jane was like she fell off. yeah, that's just basically the main thing I want to say. Never skip a Hoyo support. And as for Wuthering Waves, since I don't want to make this seem like a Hoyo shill video, because I'm definitely not any shill or anything, because I literally play all games. Sadly, you won't see Wuthering Waves on my channel. I'll try to make certain content about it, like about trailers or talking about the stories and stuff like that, and like if I can make stuff about like the newer content they add, yeah, I could probably try to do that. But like mainly because I play it on laptop and I can't figure out the OBS and I can't figure out how to make the OBS work and make it not look like it's running smooth like how it does for me. So yeah. But Zenless, I will say Zenless and Wuthering Waves are my two favorite gachas. That's what I will say, like my top two. But like I'm not gonna lie, CZN has been coming in clutch, like Chaos Zero Nightmare. I probably will put that up there too. But like, let's get back on topic. Um, yeah, never skip supports. And what I wanted to say in Wuwa, I guess that same thing applies to like your Lupa. Like if you don't have Lupa, your fusion team is not doing anything. If you don't, this one is a little bit iffy with like Phoebe and Zani, because Phoebe is kind of like a sub DPS slash she's like a sub DPS slash so DPS main DPS, I guess. I don't know what I was trying to say. But like obviously if you skip Phoebe, your Zani's not doing anything. If you skip Shakona, your Cardathea is probably now not really doing anything. If you somehow skipped Shorekeeper, then I don't even know what you're doing at this point. Like, like if you still don't have Shorekeeper on your account, then you might have to pack it up. But rumors have it that Mornier is most likely going to be the new Shorekeeper, and from what I've heard, so if that's the case, then yeah, damn. I forgot to mention too, Brant. If you skipped him too, yeah, your fusion team is just not doing anything. Now for Augusta's case, I don't know if I can say too much because I have Augusta and Yuno with both their weapons, and I actually have tried Augusta with Mortefi and it's actually worked fine. I'm not gonna lie. Like there was times even before like was out, everybody who used Augusta with Mortefi, it just seemed so perfect for her that it didn't seem like you needed I'm not so sure about like the current state of the game. I haven't really tried. But what I will say though, the whole Frolova situation though, maybe I don't know if this can somehow apply to her. Frolova's a really busted unit. You said Roshia. Um, to my knowledge, Roshia is kind of trash, and I think it's fine to skip her. That's just coming from like someone who doesn't have her, and then like just everything that you hear about Roshia. A lot of people will say you could skip her. Yes, she's an upgrade to Camelia's team, but you can still get by with Camellia so much easily, even with what's her name, Sanwa. Like there are so many people that still use Sanwa with Camellia and Clear, even me. Like I hardly ever see Roshia literally used in really anything. Like she can be used in the Frolova team, but like Frolova's gotten so many sub DPS supports now, as kind of like I don't think Roshia's in that team anymore because now you got Cantarella, and it's like if you don't have Cantarella with Frolova, then it's kind of like I don't know, but like you got Cantarella now. Now you got I think his name was like Key. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The dude with the wind sword, drunken swordsman, wandering swordsman, dude with the sword, the bamboo. He's like one of Frolova's partners apparently. I think. Now you have Buling, which is actually pretty interesting. It's a 4-star, and she's like the best free to play option for Frolova. Like you have Frolova, and then now Buling in the team and stuff like that. If you don't have like Cantarella, but like there's obviously like those situations, and it's just like Galbrina. I don't really know too much on her. Um, Maybe she needs the Wandering Swordsman. Maybe she doesn't. I know she can work in the fusion teams, especially with Brant. So that's probably where she will shine. But like obviously, if you're missing Brent, like I said, you're cooked just like me, who just has Chang Li and Lupa. Um, but yeah. Oh, same thing. I almost forgot Zezia. I almost forgot about Zezia. Yeah, if you don't have Zezia for your Carlotta, um, not gonna lie, it kind of feels pretty bad. Like, there's definitely some times where you can actually still clear with Carlotta in certain teams. Like coming from me using Carlotta a lot, but like, yeah, her without Zezia is kind of like does not feel very good. Like that's another sport that I regret skipping. I don't even know why I pulled on Jin Shi on a rerun. I'm gonna be honest, because Zezia was literally right after that. Like I could have got Zezia. I don't know why I went for Jin Shi when I like never use her at all. Even after like getting Phoebe and shit. Like I remember when I got Phoebe right after um what's her name? Jin Shi. Like Phoebe just somehow was clearing faster than Jin Shi because like I didn't have like the weapon and stuff, and Jin Shi is still missing some teammates, but she can use Zezia as well. Like Jin Shi is definitely still missing her core teammates. And I'd say the same for Camellia. I feel like Camellia, even though there's Roshia and Sanwa, I still feel like Camellia is missing her core teammates and stuff. But yeah. Basically, number one rule though, never skip a support or a busted support or a good support that's really good for characters and stuff like that. I'd probably even argue that, maybe Dial In is a support. I mean, she's a stunner, but like she's the best stunner in the game now. And it's just like yeah, that's probably something that you wouldn't want to skip either too. Especially when they can do something new. Like they have something new that they can like add or do. Like for example, Dial In can literally give you a free ultimate. Like that alone on itself is just insane. Like you just get a bunch of free ultimates even if you don't have your ult up. Like I feel like anytime a character introduces something new, I feel like you always want to get that character or support if they have like some type of mechanics like that. I still don't know how this character made it to launch, but yeah, the future for the stunners is probably gonna be crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it though. Um, like I said, never want to skip a support in these games, especially if they benefit your account. Like, don't just all in on like DPS. Obviously, if there's somebody you like, this always goes above everything. Pull for who you like. If you don't like that support or whatever, you don't have to pull them. And if you like the DPS more, you can pull them. But like that still will tank you a little bit. But I think it's always good to pull the supports just to help your favorite characters or something like that. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. And if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Help out a smaller channel like me. And that'll be it.